All right, let's try this again. It is Thursday, April 2nd, 11:30 in the evening. I wasn't going to do a video, but I was thinking, why not? Let's just kind of finish off the short week with a little video. So let's just start with the S&P. Interesting day, right? We opened weak, as I kind of suspected yesterday. Trump's address didn't please the market, of course. But you can look at the daily candle. We have a little spike from just below the 10 MA. And of course, we powered up, and we even we even turned green and settled positive by 7 points. Again, only 7 points, but that's over 100 odd points above the low. Couple of things to note. So we now have today's candle is bullish engulfing. Also, by the way, yesterday's candle, which was rather spiky, that was a sell signal, so that played out. So today's candle's bullish for Monday. Daily momentum settled and turned positive. So that's going to carry forward into next week. My guess is that we get a rollover either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and then we take a real big dive after from April the 13th onwards. We have all these downside gaps to deal with sooner or later. So, I mean, there's people out there who are looking for the 50-day 67.83. I just think that's a stretch. I will note the upper Bollinger 68.53, but again, that's got to be is tumbling like a rock, and that's got to be around 6,700 by probably late next week. I just can't see it. I mean, I'm open to the notion that somehow the most bullish scenario would be that we keep pushing up, tag these two gaps, or fill them, and then stall at the 50-day. I don't think we can do that. By the way, yeah, today was the 11th consecutive close under the 200-day, which of course now stands at 66.44, which is why I'm guessing we stall next week. Again, if I had to guess, my guess would be we're going to stall and max out on Tuesday. Monday itself should be quiet. I do expect net gains on Monday, but probably not very much because most of Europe and various other countries will be closed for Easter Monday. So price action should be pretty quiet. There's no earnings. There's nothing on the economic schedule Monday. All else being equal, quiet Monday. And then maybe we can tag the 200-day on Tuesday. And by the way, in the next downward swing, so my basic aim would be to short from the 200-day, and basic target would be red gap 63.95, which is of course Tuesday's upside gap. So in theory, I want to be involved here, and my basic target to exit and reposition be somewhere around here. So it's a good 240, 250 points downside. That's a good trade in options land if you can do it. But firstly, we go up. Do I want to highlight the 2025 scenario? I think I do. To me, it's again, every cycle is unique. But I mean, look at this. There's in this cycle, right? Well, this wave down, 2 days up, and then this day was down. Then we had a couple of days of chop, and then we had capitulate, well, maxed out around the 200-day. We actually had two closes, I think, above the 200-day briefly. You can see the 50-day up. Again, look at how the 50-day we actually saw a bullish engulfing candle from the 50-day in that wave. Also look at the 50-day being support there with a reversal candle. Kind of interesting. The market's really respecting things. Anyway, I'm looking for upside similar to this. And of course, in this cycle, we had a 5.1% bounce, which would get us to 66.38. I've done the math, which is just 6 points below the current 200-day. And the interesting thing in this cycle is we had 3 down days. I haven't marked the gap on there, and maybe I should. You know what? I'm gonna mark that gap on there because it is there, and I didn't mark the gap. And I think this is important because let's just change that to, yeah, I mean, look, it's there. It's very subtle, but you can, because look, this is why I'm highlighting this right now. Look at that. So the gap was filled there, and then we had a bear flag which was 3 days. Okay, let's save that. But yeah, that was something I didn't get around to doing, but because you see, in the first little part of cooling, we floored from around that gap, right? Look at that. The same scenario would be we get stuck around there and we come down and then we have a bear flag within this, right? And then we snap. Again, every cycle is unique, but that's an interesting bear flag from the gap zone. And you can see that after 3 days of gains, you get a snap there, another snap, and then the next day was just the capitulation day was wild. Now again, my target, my basic target is 5,700, which is a long way down right now. So if we're at 66.44, I'm looking for a good 850 points or so down, right? Actually, that would be three be 950 odd points down. Rough. I mean, close to 1,000 ish. 900,000. Let's not get too finicky. But yeah, I like this scenario a lot. I like the pattern. I like the issue about the 200 day. I love that bear flag on there. I really like the gap zone, which again I'm glad I remembered it today. So that's an because you're thinking, okay, if you can get initial wave down, reposition, maybe lighten up for a day or two, and then go back in, and then again look at where we stalled. Actually, yeah, look at this. Look at where we stalled. We stalled at the 10 MA, and it's a beautiful bear flag that was. It's perfect. Little choppy, and then snap, snap, capitulation floor, and then of course we had this hyper bullishing off in candle when uh, Tucker Man came out and backed off on the tariffs, right? Of course, a little bit choppy here, but broadly off we went all the way into January of this year. Basically, what, 10 months? Well, yeah, 10 months straight up, effectively. That was a hell of a thing, right? I'm actually wondering, in this third wave, we had a decline of 16.4%. What's 16? I wasn't planning to do this, but I'm doing the math. If we were looking at, say, 66.38 times 0.836. Okay, so if we stalled, if you change the numbers for the current 200 day, if we stalled around 66.40-ish, target would be 5,500-ish. Yeah, that would be the equivalent. That would be the equivalent drop, 5,500. And I've been saying that for a while now. I'm coming around to the notion of like 5,700 looks pretty straightforward. But maybe we can get that down to 5,500 as well. Again, if it happens, it should happen pretty fast. But yeah, 16% off the 200 day would be 5,550-ish. Anyway, I find that interesting. I'm sure one or two of you do. And yeah, again, I will always note that every single cycle is unique, but there are patterns. And I would say that right now, one, the most important thing is the 200 day. The second thing is the initial down wave again. we get stuck at the gap. And the current gap, the new gap is that one right there. So my only concern in the short term is that I short of a 200-day, but the market goes up to the 50-day, and that might take another 2 or 3 days, and then we roll over. So if I'm wrong, I might have to endure, what would it be? Right now, it'd be another 140 points up. That would be pretty painful. That'd be at least 20-25% in options land. That wouldn't be pretty. But then I'd still be able to look to getting down to red gap minimum target. Anyway, let's move on. VIX. I will note that yesterday's candle was a hollow red reversal, which was bullish VIX, bearish equities. That did play out. We had an initial spike to the 27s, but then we cooled back. We even settled red. And what's today's candle? Today's candle is bearish engulfing, which is bearish VIX for Monday, and bullish equities. So looking at maybe 22s, 21s. That's not bold, right? That's an easy target. And maybe if we get, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, we get around 21 to 20. And then off we go again. And this, we should go way above 35. In my view, we have a good chance at getting above 60 VIX before the end of the month. Not next week, but I think from April 13th onwards, we should be open to the notion that VIX hyperspikes. So yeah, these reversal candles are quite good. Do I want to go through? What do I want to go through? I guess I'll just do some individual stocks, or maybe end with oil. I'll leave gold and silver for, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll briefly look at them later. Again, so we should be looking for a lot of reversal candles here, and bullish engulfing candles. Again, Apple's kind of holding together. I'm gonna fly through these pretty quick. Some of them, I mean, really, I just don't have the time. There's a reversal candle. Yeah, this reversal candles all over the place. Bullish engulfing candle in AMD, that's bullish for Monday. I guess we can, if you drag across this gap. Again, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? So yeah, we're back in green gap. Maybe we'll come up a little bit higher on Monday, Tuesday. Amazon, again, just reversal candles all over the place. Amex was down 0.1, but again, that's a reversal candle. Again, if you're really bullish, you'd be looking for green gap, although I frankly, I find that very difficult. I think maybe we can get to 305, which is the upper Bollinger. So, 305, then we stall. So again, look at this. Where again, if, it's not when, but if we can break 290, then the floor will be taken out and then it will just free fall. And there's actually a gap. There's actually two gaps over here. Look, there's one there, which is what? 255, and there's another gap around 245-ish. Yeah, that would be my target. And all of this, you can just draw a giant bear flag on that. Yep. I don't want this video to drag out too long, but it's just stuff I want to highlight, if only for myself. BlackRock up 1%, pretty strong upward candle, but again, all of this is arguably multi-week bear flag. Blackstone down 1%, but again, even though it was down, reversal candle, bullish for Monday, maybe Tuesday as well. I don't know. Again, reversal candle for Cat. Kamiko up 1%. Carnival reversal candle. Cleveland Cliffs, that's a bear flag. Coinbase down a bit, but reversal candle. So you could argue we have a gap, a full gap fill. We didn't quite get to 91s, but it's close enough. Again, reversal candle in Ford. Google reversal candle. Home Depot. Not a great day for Home Depot. Actually, I mean, yeah, actually broke a new multi-month low. And we haven't gone under actually, the low was 318.66. So we're very close to the April low, which was when the S&P was 48.35. Heckler, structure is a bear flag. Intel, I don't know what the hell's up with this. It was initially down, of course, in pre-market by about 4%, but it settled up almost 5. I mean, what's going on there? I mean, I will say my target remains red gap in the 28s buy, except that's a really low target now relative to the fact we're at $50 again. And we're in teal gap, so we're prone to stalling. JP Morgan reversal candle, but huge resistance. Green gap, upper Bollinger, 200-day, 50-day. Also, Psi 300 threshold. So maybe a couple of dollars up, but then it should roll over. Structure is a multi-week bear flag. Bearish to 250. KKR, another one of my beloved financials I like to short. So look at this. This is a beautiful bear flag. That's a reversal candle, bullish for Monday or Tuesday. 50 days coming down. Upper Bollinger is what 93. So a lot of resistance, huge resistance around here. In theory, this one's got to break down and break under the recent 82s. I can smell smoke coming out of the KKR building. Not sure I see any flames yet, but that is a bear flag, a big one. Kinder Morgan black candle, so energy stocks just cooling back. Meta reversal candle, MP 2.7% up. Microsoft up 1%. Can't go down every day, right? Micron down 0.4. Reversal candle. Netflix up 3. Nike down 1%. That's a new cycle low, and that is a reversal candle. Maybe it'll come up to tag the gap, 45, 46s. Uh, Also, I've come around to the notion that Nike will get kicked out of the Dow. Don't know when. Who knows when they'll do it, but I'm pretty sure they'll do it before the end of the year. And you can quote me on that. That's definitely one of my core predictions now. Nike will get kicked out of the Dow. The only issue what to replace it with. I like to see Tesla or even SpaceX added to the Dow later this year. Nvidia 0.9. Another energy stock with a black candle, short-term bearish. Forgive me that I'm skipping some of these, but I am tired. I just wanted to do something today. 3% Rocket Lab. Again, literally NASA Artemis 2 mission. It gave the space stocks a good kick today. SM more down 1%. Terrible. Target unchanged. That's probably, no, it's not a black candle. Tesla had, I mean, the delivery data for Tesla today was okay. But the problem is they're not making much money at all on these cars. So they're selling lots of cars, but for almost no profit at all. This isn't good. The stock's 360. What are we looking at? I mean, look at the April low. Why would you not? In fact, why would anyone actually not be looking for 214 eventually? But that's a long way down. That's 214 is what, $146. What's $146 on 360? It's about what? 40% ish. Yeah, it's about 40%. It's a long way down. Don't care. Oh yeah, United Airlines, which was one of my prime short targets. So look, Tuesday, Wednesday, strongly up. Today was down by 3%. So quite a big drop today, but that is a reversal candle, so that's bullish for Monday. Maybe Tuesday. Look at this. Green gap. the 200-day, the 50-day, all set to be massive resistance here. And I would say that structure is a kind of a bearish pennant or something. I've drawn it in pink. So if we take, to confirm it, we need to go under 84 and then target would be 70. I think there's a hell of a trade here, and I want to do it next week. I will be looking I will be looking very closely at KKR and United on Monday. I mean, if KKR, if United is anywhere around, well, I mean, Monday I would think maybe it can come up to maybe 95, 96, but I'm trying to be more focused on the S&P getting to the 200-day, which is 66.40s. But, you know, I think a short anywhere in here is going to be it's going to work out well for me. So I'm not in the trade, not in any positions this weekend because it's a holiday. Generally, it's not a good idea to hold positions, especially options, across the long weekend. And I don't expect Trump to do anything this weekend. Unlike some people, there's a fair number of people out there who think there'll be an attack either on Good Friday or Easter weekend. I don't think so. I think that will come April 11th to the 12th. So I think there's no hurry yet, but we're getting close in my view. Moving on. Don't care, don't care. UPS just bouncing a little. Exxon. Exxon down for a third day, only 9 cents, but you know, short-term bearish. I mean, do we really want to highlight anything else? I mean, really, Bitcoin's down 1.6. Nothing good there, is there? Uh, Commodity gold on a daily. I mean, look, gold was down $107 today, 2.3. You could argue this is a bear flag, or it's just a bounce, and we're going to roll over again. My target is 3,500. Back to here from well, I guess from September would be 3,500. And silver, again, it's even weaker, 2.8% down. You got to think natural magnet. Again, once you take out the 200-day 58s, what then? 54s, 48s. I mean, it's again, if the main market gets whacked, silver will be dragged down. It cannot escape. And commodity oil was up $11.94, which is 11.9% to 112.06. We printed 113.97. So we came pretty close to the recent high. Today's candle is actually bullish engulfing. Momentum's turned back to positive. For the week, oil was up 12.4%. Last week, again, price action is still pretty wild, and I would note that look at momentum, it's just powering upwards. Again, I've told people why people are getting so obsessed about the bloody 100 threshold. It doesn't matter. People getting overly focused, saying, "Oh my God, if oil doesn't hold 100," it's like, no, we're going above 119. We're going above 126, right? It's just a matter of when. Is it next week? Probably not. Is it the following week? Yeah, probably. Maybe not. Maybe not until the end of the month. It doesn't matter. It really shouldn't matter to most people. This is bad. I mean, this is a global economic shockwave to go from 54. I mean, actually, if you just skip out all of that, you just think oil's been typically around, 60, $70 for a long time, and now we have this big surge, and it's a surge that's really the pain. Of course, then there's the supply side issues, but that's a whole different area. Finally, USO. Now that is a black candle. That is bearish for Monday. And I haven't marked it on here, but I think I will now. Let's mark a new gap. That's not it. That's a line. Do we want to hold? Yeah, we'll just do the whole bloody thing. Do I think these other gaps are going to get filled? No, I do not. We even actually have another gap there, which I didn't mark on. So I could draw that on. Let's put it there. It's so tiny, but it's kind of an issue in that you have kind of a double gap resistance. Yeah. So in terms of viable downside, you think, okay, where can we get down to? 127s. A lot of support around 127 to 124. Oh, look, 127 is $10 down. $10 on 137 is what? What's that? 5-6%? So I could see that. I mean, I wouldn't be I would be short. That would be insane in my view. But yeah, we have a little kind of a price magnet zone around here. Again, I'm assuming these won't be tagged. They're done. Forget it. It's too far down. But we can get down the kind of red overlapped with purple gap. Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. No later than that. And then off we go again. All right, I think we'll call it quits there. I was almost gonna say Friday night, but no, it's a Thursday. And I think a few things in that were kind of useful. If anything, I reminded myself that on the 2025 scenario, we also had a red gap that that merits attention. I mean, really. Yep. A little gap there. I find that really interesting. Because if we get what to the 200 day, we have a basic downside target of around red gap. And right now, again, I cannot emphasize this more than anything else. There it is. There it is. If I can short somewhere around here, basic downside target is that. And then maybe, just maybe, we build a bull flag for a couple of days and then roll over again. Oh, and for the record, do I think that we can get to red gap next week? I guess, yeah, but I would find it far more likely from the 13th onwards. So if we're around here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we start rolling over, say Thursday or Friday end a little bit weak, and then on Monday, bam, Monday the 13th, back to here, and then maybe find a floor and churn around for a day or two, and then bam again, and then we cut down to basic target beyond then would be what? Um, I mean, really 6K and then 5,700. And yeah, that's a long way down, but it looks realistic. Anyway, I wish you a good Friday, and try and stay clear of the news because it's all pretty bad, right? Go watch a movie. A lot of life's problems can be solved with a good movie. On that note, good night.